Today we are going to learn the first part of nomenclature of organic compounds. Nomenclature means naming of organic compounds. Naming of organic compounds. So the naming of organic compounds is based on certain rules that is known as nomenclature of organic compounds. There are two systems of naming organic compounds, and the first system of naming organic compound is trivial system or common system. The first system of naming organic compounds is trivial system or common system of naming, and the second system of naming is IUPAC system of naming. IUPAC system of naming. So in the trivial system or common system, the names are given on the basis of the source of that compound. So in common system of naming, we are giving the name of organic compounds on the basis of their sources. But in the case of IUPAC system of naming, we are giving names on the basis of some rules. On the basis of some rules, we are giving the names, or in the case of IUPAC system of naming. IUPAC, you know, is an organization that is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So this is an organization. So on the basis of the IUPAC system of naming organic compounds, certain rules are to be followed. Anyway, this system of naming or the IUPAC system of naming is the better way of naming organic compounds than common system of naming. So according to IUPAC system of naming, the name of organic compounds consists of three parts. IUPAC system of naming, the organic compound's name. The name of organic compound consists of three parts. They are the word root, suffix, and prefix. So there are three parts in the name of organic compound, that is prefix, word root, and suffix. So what does it mean? Word root means that indicates the number of carbon atoms. So if there is only one carbon atom, the word root will be meth. If there are two carbon atoms, the word root will be eth. If there are three carbon atoms, the word root will be prop. Likewise, it's go on. Then the case of suffix. Suffix means that indicates the saturation, or whether the compound is saturated or unsaturated. So the suffix indicates whether the compound is saturated or unsaturated, or we can say if there is a single bond between carbon atoms, the suffix will be Ane. If there is a double bond between carbon atom, it will be Ene, and if it is a triple bond between carbon atoms, the suffix will be Yne. So three types are there. The suffix may be Ane, Ene, or Yne according to the covalent bond between carbon atoms. Then comes prefix. Prefix means the substituents or the side chains attached to the carbon chain. The side chains. So the side chains or substituents present in the carbon chain is named as prefix. Anyway, there are three parts in the name of an organic compound according to IUPAC system: the prefix, the word root, and suffix. Word root indicates the number of carbon atoms present in the carbon chain, and suffix means the type of bonds between carbon atoms, and prefix means the side chain or the substituent atom or group present in the carbon chain. So let us see the nomenclature of alkanes. So the nomenclature of saturated branched chain hydrocarbons. Saturated branched chain hydrocarbons. Saturated means that contain a carbon-carbon single bond. So obviously they are alkanes. So we are going to name the compounds containing saturated bonds, or they are alkanes and that contains branched chains. So in order to name these type of compounds, we have to follow certain rules. According to IUPAC, we have to follow some rules for naming this type of compounds. So anyway, that name should contain three parts. One is prefix, the other one is word root, and the next one is suffix. So in the case of prefix, it may be primary prefix or secondary prefix. In the case of suffix also, there may be primary or secondary, that we will study later. Initially, we have to know the name should contain three parts. One is prefix, the other one is word root, and the next is suffix. Three parts are there in the name of an organic compound. So in order to name saturated branched chain hydrocarbons, we have to follow some rules. Let us see the first rule. The first rule is longest chain rule. The first rule is longest chain rule. So the longest chain rule says we have to select the longest continuous chain. We have to select the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms. That need not be a straight chain. That need not be a straight chain. And that continuous chain is called principal chain or parent chain. So in order to name a compound, first of all we have to select the longest chain. Longest chain means the longest continuous chain. That need not to be a straight chain. That need not to be a linear chain, and that chain is called, that longest chain is called principal chain or parent chain. And the rest of the part of the chain, the rest is known as substituents. Substituents or side chains. So the first rule says that we have to select the longest continuous chain, or we have to select the principal chain. Then the rest of the chain is called, or that the rest of the chain is considered as the substituents or side chains. So let us see one example how to select the longest chain. Consider a compound. Consider an organic compound. So this is an example of an organic compound. This is saturated branched chain hydrocarbon. This is an alkane. So let us select the longest chain. So first of all we have to look at the straight chain. That straight chain has to be numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this straight chain contains 5 carbon atoms, and this may be the longest chain, but we have to consider other possibilities also. So let us give the numbers from, if it is from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So if you are numbering from this side, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is another longest chain. So consider these two chains. The straight chain contains 5 carbon atoms, but if you are numbering from this side, the chain contains 6 carbon atoms. So we have to select the longest continuous chain as the carbon chain contains 6 carbon atoms. So this numbering is not right, and the numbering is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So there are 6 carbon atoms in the longest chain. This is a continuous chain, and also we have to note that this is not a straight chain. This is not a straight chain. This is the longest chain. It contains 6 carbon atoms. So we are applying the first rule here. And also the rest of the part is considered as the substituent. Here, this is the rest of the part of the parent chain. So parent chain contains 6 carbon atom, and the rest of the part of the chain is CH3. CH3, we know this is a methyl group. This is a methyl group. So methyl group is coming from methane. So if one hydrogen atom is replaced from methane, we will get CH3. So this is methyl group. So this is an alkyl group. It is called a methyl group. Here methyl group is the substituent. So we are going to name this compound. First of all, we have to select the word root. We have to select the word root. Here the word root is, it contains 6 carbon atoms. The word root will be hex. It contains 6 carbon atoms. The principal chain contains 6 carbon atoms. The word root is hex. And the suffix is, since it contains single bond between carbon atom, it's an ANE. So the suffix is ANE. Now let us see what is the prefix. The prefix means the substituent present in the carbon chain. Here the substituent present is methyl. So the methyl should be added as prefix, and also the position of methyl group also to be added. Here methyl group is in the 3rd position. So look at the methyl group. This methyl group is connected to this carbon atom. So this methyl group is directly connected to this carbon atom, and that carbon atom is the 3rd carbon atom of the principal chain. So we have to add that 3 with the prefix. So the name is 3-methyl hexane. The name of this organic compound is 3-methyl hexane. 3, after 3 we have to put a hyphen, then write the prefix methyl, then hexane. So 3-methyl hexane is the name, the IUPAC name of this particular organic compound.